Hello everyone, my name is Ben Lessaff. I'm the General Manager of RecTech Grills, and on behalf of myself, both of our owners, Ray Carnes and Ron Cundy, and our entire staff here at RecTech, we want to welcome you to the RecTech family. And if you're watching this video, that means you either have received or you're about to receive your brand new RT-680. So we wanted to shoot this video to kind of give you some guidance and some helpful tips along the way as far as assembling it. Helping me today is going to be Jody Flanagan. He's our marketing director. Thank you, sir. Now, inside your grill, you're going to find any accessories that you've ordered. You're also going to find a manual, and you're also going to find an envelope that will have your name on it. Inside that envelope will be a copy of your bill of sale. There is also going to be a business card in there. That business card has personal cell phone numbers of myself, both of our owners, an after hours number, all of our email addresses. So anything that you ever need or any question that you ever have, we urge you, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We truly stand behind this, and we want to do anything that we can to make sure that you have the most pleasant experience with our grill as possible. As I mentioned before, giving me a hand today is going to be Jody Flanagan. You'll find as you get into putting this grill together, it's pretty heavy. It weighs a little over 200 pounds. We put a lot of quality into the metal thickness and the type of metal that we use. So an extra set of hands really goes a long way. And with any good backyard project, so does a cold beer. Cheers, pal.
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah.
Besides your beverage of choice, the tools that you'll need to put together your new RT-680 are going to be a Phillips head screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, a 17mm wrench and or socket. You can also use an adjustable wrench as well.
So we're about to take this off the pallet. We're going to go ahead and unbox it. You can lay the cardboard out, and that's going to give you a really good working area. So as you take things out of the grill, you can set them right there in the cardboard.
On the inside, you're going to have your drip bucket, your smokestack and smokestack cap, 304 stainless steel bullhorn handles, 304 stainless steel pull bar handle. Your bottom shelf, on top of the bottom shelf are going to be your 4 legs, 2 fixed wheels, and 2 caster legs. Of course, we're going to have your hardware packet as well as your manual.
And then you also have your side shelf, which also has your Smart Grill technology controller, your 304 stainless steel deflector shield, and the 304 stainless steel drip pan.
And the grates too.
What we want to do from here is we want to lay the grill on its back carefully. We're going to remove this styrofoam, and the next process we're going to get into is going to be getting your legs and your bottom shelf installed.
Welcome back. We've already completed step 1, unpacking the grill, getting yourself familiar with the contents. We've unpacked our hardware and got it organized. Right now we're ready for step 2, attaching the legs.
So the first thing we're going to do is slide in our caster wheels. They both go on the right side. Then we're going to put in the fixed wheels, and they go on the left. The order of operations you want to go here is put your bolt in, and then on the inside you're going to go flat washer, lock washer, then nut. After that, we're going to put our bottom shelf in place, and we'll do the same thing. All you want to do here is get your hardware started. Once we have everything in place, then we can start tightening everything down. On the other hand, if you purchase the front shelf with your grill, do not put these front bolts in just yet, because that's going to be used to put your front shelf on, and we'll go over that in just a moment. So like we mentioned before, if you purchase the front shelf, this is the time to put it on. It's going to be real simple. You just open your front shelf up, set it on top of the grill like so. Go ahead and put your bolt on as normal. We've got all the other bolts in here ready to go and started. From here, we're ready to start tightening everything down. Something to keep in mind, when you start tightening these bolts down, hold the screwdriver on these Phillips head bolts and use your socket wrench to tighten everything from the inside. You can generate a lot more torque with the socket wrench than you ever can with a screwdriver. So hold that in place, tighten it with the socket. We'll be done in no time.
Now that we've completed steps 1, 2, and 3, we're going to get ready for step 4. The first thing we need to do is locate our RTD temperature probe wire. That's going to be located on the inside of the cooking chamber of the grill. So the first thing we need to do is open the lid and look physically on the inside of the grill. You'll see it there off to the left. We're going to feed those wires through a hole that is directly up underneath it. Those wires are then going to plug into our controller.
And so the first thing we've done is we've taken this panel off the bottom of your side shelf. You can do that with either a flathead screwdriver or a 5/16 inch wrench. These are little hex head screws, very easy to pop out. At that point in time, we're going to be ready to put our side shelf onto the grill. The order that we do this, and you may have noticed this when you saw your hardware, you saw these little toothed washers, these little grooved washers. They're a little different looking, but the point of these is to ground the grill properly. So the order that we're going to do is the bolt, one grooved washer is going to go in the side shelf like this, and then from inside the grill, once we have this attached, we're going to have another grooved washer, followed by a lock washer, followed by the nut, all coming from the inside. All right, so now that we've got our side shelf attached, we've gone ahead and tightened up all the nuts and bolts. We're going to feed our temperature probe wires, which Jody already fed out of the grill, but now we got to feed them into the side shelf. You'll see there's a little grommet hole over here on the side. And all we do is just feed them in one at a time. It's a little bit of a tight fit, but you just push them through and go ahead and pull all that slack into your side shelf. And then we're going to leave the extra slack in the side shelf, and we're going to plug these to the back of your temperature controller to the two prongs that say RTD-A. And it's real easy to figure out which two those are because they're the two that are closest to the grill. And now we're ready. Put our access panel back on, and we can stand the grill up. All right, so we finished step 4 of attaching the side shelf, as long as step 5, which was attaching the RTD wires to the back of the controller. One more thing we need to do is connect the 5-wire connector that comes out of the shelf, which is very simple. Now, you did notice when we were putting this on, we mentioned earlier having a second set of hands is really helpful. That's very helpful for putting this on. You notice I held it in place while Jody threaded everything from the inside. Standing the grill upright, you definitely don't want to do by yourself. A buddy is really vital. And when you've gotten to this point, you're almost home free.
The hardest part of the assembly is over with, guys, attaching that left side shelf and standing the grill upright. The next step is going to be step 7, the coolest step, attaching the bullhorn handles.
That's right.
You'll notice that the hardware is already installed in these. We'll back that out to install them on the lid. After step 7 is going to be step 8, installing the pull bar. You'll also notice that the hardware is in them as well. We'll back that out and install them to the grill. Step 9 is going to be attaching the smokestack, which we will use the remaining hardware that we have to attach it.
All right, everybody, congratulations. You have officially completed the assembly for your RT-680. No more nuts and bolts to worry about. From here, we're about ready to get it fired up, but before we get going, I wanted to go over a couple of things to help familiarize you with how the operation of the grill works. First and foremost, on your control pad, we've got your power button. Very simple, on and off. We've got an up arrow and a down arrow. That goes up and down in temperature in 5-degree increments. You can go from 180 up to 500 plus. And the reason I say plus is if you go to 500 and hit the up arrow one more time, it's going to read full on the display. Full basically says, give me all you got. It runs the pellets as hard as it can. Between the type of pellets you're using and the environment that you're in, it'll give you the maximum allowable temperature, which should get you somewhere in excess of 500 degrees. Next over, we've got the temp display button, which will toggle between the temperature that you have the grill set for and the temperature that you're trying to achieve. And then lastly, we've got the extreme smoke button. Between 180 and 250 degrees, you can activate this button and it'll cause the blower fan, which we'll talk about in a minute, to cut on and off, which will slow the burn rate of the grill down. And then from there, we've got your light switch, which is just the red toggle button. Now, the lens for your light pops off. All you have to do is take your fingers and pop it off from the bottom. The scalloped edge and the back of the light switch goes on the bottom, so you know how to put it back on. If this ever gets too dirty, you can put it in the dishwasher. You can also soak it in a Ziploc bag with some oven cleaner for about 24 hours, and it'll come looking about brand new. Pops back in place, no screws, nothing like that to worry about. When we fire it up, we're gonna hit the power button. We're gonna set it to 400 degrees. Like I said, you can hit your temp display button. Actual temperature right now is about 89. We've taken a small handful of pellets and put them down in the fire pot. You don't have to fill the fire pot all the way up, just a small handful, throw them in there. I've already got pellets back in our hopper. We put about a half bag in there or so. You can fill it all the way up if you'd like. Jody's gonna take you through the internal components of the grill.
All right, guys, once we've placed that handful of pellets, we're now gonna place the guts on the inside of the grill. The order goes like this. The deflector shield goes first. Of course, you can see the large notch is gonna go to the rear of the grill. The drip tray goes next. A lot of folks will go ahead and put aluminum foil on this. That way, when you're done with your 400-degree burn-in, you can go ahead and start cooking. You wanna keep in mind the incline of your drip tray because it's going to allow the grease to exit the grill as quickly as possible. So if you're up at those higher temperatures, you really want to cook on that right-hand side. After the drip tray goes the grill grates, made of 304 stainless steel. And then, of course, lastly, our bucket. We're going to close the lid, set the grill to 400 degrees, allow it to achieve 400 and let it sit at 400 for 1 hour. That's going to complete our 400-degree burn-in, and we're ready to cook after that.
Now, something I like to do after that 400-degree burn-in is cook something nice and fatty, like bacon. I'll back the grill down to about 250, 300 degrees. You really don't want to cook anything fatty, such as bacon, above 350 because we want to minimize the chances for a grease fire. So back the grill after that 400-degree burn-in for 1 hour to about 300, 350, throw some bacon on there. That's going to give you some seasoning, which will happen naturally, but the whole point of cooking bacon for your first cook is you get some grease that splatters up on the inside of the grill and gets that seasoning process started a little quicker than you would naturally with just cooking some normal food. We hope this video was helpful. We hope it was somewhat entertaining. Yeah. It was for us. I know, right? And thank you so much. We really appreciate the business. Remember that business card that we gave you that has all of our information, and if you have any questions whatsoever, please let us know. We're here. We want to help you in any way that we possibly can. Even if you have recipe questions, you let us know. And we appreciate it again for the business. And thanks for stopping by. And by the way, for all sorts of recipes and other cool information, visit rectechgrills.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.